radio check, radio check. Work is in the AO. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Glad you can join us today for another round of Motorsport Manager. Oof. I'm gonna switch up my fan. About that, give me a couple of seconds. There we go. Anyway, bit of a recap. Yesterday, we managed to survive the the season target for the 2020 and 2027 season of the European Racing Series, where we got demoted because well, we weren't doing so hot in the Asia Pacific Super Cup because we didn't have a lot of good parts going. And now we are in the preseason, still going for testing. We actually spent the last part of the stream yesterday re-rolling parts, or rather re-rolling part suppliers, so that we get a decent amount of supply and don't suffer from poor performance in the long run. We've already done chassis design, adapting the parts, and adjusting delivery. And now we have this. Thanks to the vote from last season, we have these low-profile tires, which look very, very slick. No pun intended. I really like the appearance on these guys, even though when you look at them on the sides, feels like some of these tires are just a little too overpressured. But they look better than the road tires we had originally. I think they look nice. Anyway, fuel efficiency is still pretty bad. Improvability, not much. Not much in tire heating as well, but tire wear is better. I think that's going to be good enough for this run. Now, ooh, tire simulations. Figure fist. I've been looking into possible replacement drivers at the end of the season, especially since we have Perez here, who's about to retire probably. Her marketability is still good though, but we definitely need somebody to replace her if she starts retiring. She's already 31. There's probably news of retirement from her in a couple. Judovish is pretty much one of our best drivers right now, but she is really bad in marketability at only 30%. Gonna need some more work with that. And well, Asuncion Rio Leonet has good feedback and other rates, but she doesn't have any driver trade that could help her or help us in the long run, and her marketability is pretty low. So if she ever goes up to a primary position, I don't think I can help her have her help us in marketing. Zach Hamilton. Yeah, Zach Hamilton was actually from the WMC, and he has been running with some WMC teams for most of his career. Firebird managed to snatch him for the ERS, mostly because, oof, yeah. He's just looking to end out his last days as a driver with a pretty decent team. But he's definitely on the way out, as you can clearly see. Okay, let's see what we got. Nope, I don't have the money for that. As much as I'd like to boost my tire wear even more, I can't really pay for it right now, even though we're starting up there. We need to save up on the money first. I think the current build of the car, it's running decently enough that we don't really need to invest in it too much for the time being. We're just gonna need to build up for next season. The heck is that adaptability, buddy? Ooh, good marketability though. I don't think she's gonna be talking. Yep. Despite having a 3 types preseason testing time in a couple of days, let's see how it works. Anela Andreasen, fairly decent, but she's got good lightning reactions. Oh. That's not good. If she's not willing to share status with a teammate, then she's not on the team. Four more new drivers in progress. Edwin, Braga, Espigule, and Wait, Stacy Cook? What? I feel like I've seen her on my other playthrough. Here we go. Pre-season testing time. Let's see how it goes. Let's hope we have a decent showing at least. Kind of funny that a lot of the drivers actually just jumped around the other teams on the paddock. Okay, engine is now boxed. No more problems at the end of the results screen, although Perez and Drulovich both suffered some morale drops because of those problems. Nonetheless, we are pretty well placed, I think. That's Drulovich in 5th, Perez in 11th. Struggling with understeering gearbox issues. That's not good. Got oil leaks also. But I think that's a good enough result for the pre-season testing for our cars. I think we are well placed. Oh, wait, what? Oh, there it is. We are currently the best car on the grid right now, which I think is a pretty nice stop. 10th and 11th. Nice. But Silva's still on top in the preseason. Fairly decent? That's only fairly decent? I think I can actually ask for a bit of a... I mean, we could probably go for 3rd, as is the just like in the previous one. But I want to be sure we can actually do this. So how are we going to go with this? I mean, we could probably go and stick with 3rd just to be on the safe side, even though we were only able to go to 3rd last time by the skin of our teeth. But with our with the start of our car performance being pretty great right now, I think we're pretty well placed right now as far as engines are concerned. So we can just build a new engine. Boosting top speed and reliability. So that could be helpful for now. Maybe 2 days after the race. Not too bad. Since we're using a lot of stock parts, it's the engines that need to be worked on. I think we can go for 3rd again. So just to be on the safe side, let me just save this a bit. Hang on. Okay. Let me just save this a bit. Like the load. Sorry about that. Looks like they're doing another bit of workout there. Apparently there's some last-minute finishing stuff that they need to do in the next area over. Getting really noisy. Anyway, alright, back on the front there. We're going for 3rd, so we can get $20 million in the box. Hopefully we can maintain it this time, but I really am not confident that these low-profile tires will be as durable as the previous one. Average. So let's just focus on increasing the boost and getting some of the reliability up. Once this is done, we can probably focus on getting these to at least 70%, and then we'll build up from there. Anybody else on the scouting that I need to focus on? Nope. Still 4 people out there that don't have any contracts yet. Pretty young there. Ellie Marsh, still pretty nice, but I'm not too sure I want her. Sorry, 29. Just to be on the safe side, I'll keep a note up on her. Okay, with the road car factory complete, I'm expecting at least some more means of income. It says 1.25 million per race. Hopefully that'll be enough to help us build up on our setup soon. There is Estelle Martina, sim racing enthusiast, 50% marketability, not much there, sorry. Can't really do much with her for now. Performance work is done, perfect. Right, that should make the car happy. Gaspar Fuentes is on the way out. Pretty good marketing, boss. Too bad he's a reservist, so he can't really do much with that marketing. It's going to be a 30-lap race. Let's see if we can do it one stop. 15-15. Well, there's the rain, though, so that's a problem. We do? Oh, yeah, we got root. Nah. That's not a lot of luck. That's not very lucrative, really. But we got Transantarctic, Condor, FWK, and Silverdo, so that's pretty decent. If we can boost Judovic's marketing appeal a bit more, there's a good chance we can get some more money out of these guys. Now that they're finished with the performance, we've got the engines. Okay, so they're done with this. The durability, though, is a bit low, and I don't think I'm gonna hit at least 70% before the race is done. So let's hope we can keep these engines running without having them blow up on our faces in the Black Sea. Ed to Win has some pretty good stats, all things considered. Pretty good feedback, very focused, very fit. He's also an overtaking specialist, so he knows how to overrun people, and he's got 5 stars total. Good growth, though. And though he's not exactly the cornering type, I think he's more of a 0 to 60 quarter-mile dragster type of guy because of the speed and overtaking. But he is focused, so if we need somebody who's pretty good as a driver, we can probably look into him. He's still pretty young too. Means there's a lot of performance boosting that he can do. Problem is, he is not exactly the cornering type, which can be annoying in the long run. Oh, come on, Judovish! She has a personality problem, I swear. What? What is this? What do you mean, new Watson Industries boss? I've been the principal of this team for what? More than 10 years. 2016, 2026. Yeah, I've been the principal for 12 years. What the hell is this guy smoking? This girl, rather. Felipe Spigile. Oh, that's good marketability, but that's temporary marketability. So that's 25 plus 5. He's got 30. A 30% marketability boost, but it's better than Judovic at least. Dude, I know Jessica Legg isn't exactly up there in terms of marketing or in terms of performance, but she's gonna get there. You just have to be very, very patient. Look at that. Look at that potential. You know what? Maybe when I find somebody better after, what, 2 seasons, I'm gonna fire Judovic. She complains every single time. I mean, her stats are great, but she is a diva with her salary, and she keeps complaining every season about something that our team has, like the mechanics, or the lead designer, or the HQ, or the car development. Getting on my nerves. Like, seriously, man, we're a team here. Stop complaining. No, you're on your own, buddy. Stop freaking complaining. Our morale is now that. Not too bad. Oh well, let's see if we can get something out of this. Welcome to the Black Sea. Time for practice. See who's in the... They're not too much. Our pit speed? Very slow! 23 seconds. Lord, I can't wait to get a better mechanic that can handle the pit changes better. How many days before the new engine arrives? 2 days and 10 hours. That's 2 days after the race. Oh well. At least we still get money, whether we get the bonuses or not. Okay, let's see if we can get this... Oh, cripes, no. Just save that for now. And we'll proceed along this axis. And parts fitting, they seem to be happy with their parts for now. Oh yeah, Perez only has a 649 engine, but no, yeah, Perez only has a 649 engine. Judovic has a 664 engine, which is our most powerful right now. See how that works in the front lines for now. You know, I should have probably built up on a new building now that we got the money, but still, I could probably get that later on. Let's try not to perform very well. I still want to stay here in the ERS for a bit and then get some more money so we can build up some buildings. Okay, who do we want? Going for engine, so it's going to be speed. Stiffness, some arrows to handle with corners. I think we're good. And then we stick to the softs. I wanted to stay at least up to 15th, which means we'll probably have to keep the tires in conserved mode so that they can last a bit longer. That's going to be really risky. Like, very, very risky. Especially since Perez doesn't really have the smoothness to handle keeping the tires in check now that she's pretty much peaked. And on the way out, I think she's starting to check out, really. See if things go away here. I might have to look into a new lead designer after this season, really. If the current lead designer's contract changes, of course. Doesn't look like there's any problem so far, but I'd love to hear any complaints now so we can fix it before we hit the second run on their the second lap stint. Concliffe is now with Archer. Mazzoncini is now with Dragon Race Team. Picerni is still with Ozu, I think. Yeah, she's still with Ozu. We're seeing some new names, like there's Carlson, there's Bian. I think Cardenas is a new one. You're not far too high, huh? The Silva Mello is with Zampelli still. There's a new one. Deborani Neto, she's with ZRT Autosport. Elegard, also a new one. He's with Firebird this time. Too much aero on the car, got you. I don't know how many legs we're going to be doing today. I'm probably just setting up the money for future running, so it could probably be just a really short run. Wait, what? there it is. Gansler is now in second. He's still a pretty difficult competitor to deal with, despite the fact that he's not exactly running on good layouts right now. Judovic is showing us some pretty good work, though, which I think is a good sign. Both of the drivers are still pretty close to each other, which could be a good indicator of how things are going to go and around the actual race day. But I might have to send them in first. Oh, we're still working up to level 2. We need to fix their arrows because we gave them too much. They can't take advantage of their speed. Everything else seems to be okay, though. That's race trim and mediums level 2. I have to worry about the weather, of course. It's just downforce. Looks like they got purples on both of their tracks, which is pretty nice for starting the practice. Just need to adjust this a bit. Okay, something like this. Just, maintain the same tires. Oh, cripes! Ideally, net setup is worse. Way worse. So not a lot of downforce. A bit more acceleration. And, yeah, more understeer. Yeah, more understeer. Keep the same setup for the stints and tires, and boom. Now the main issue here is whether or not we can keep the tires durable for long runs, because we still need to... We want to do it in a one-stop race as much as possible, but it's a 30-lap race and the tires can only last to 14. So we have to be very, very careful with tire wear as much as possible. Fortunately, tire heating is going to be an issue, so it's going to be annoying to deal with. Etienne now stealing the top with her super his super softs. Oh, he's with Ozu this time. Carlson, Vexala, Ramsey. And there's Ramsey. Lormore. Lormore is with ZRT again. Chu, where's Chu? Chu, there is. Chu is still with Silva, even though some weird setup on the news made it look like he moved teams. Okay, Jirovic and Ariole not showing a lot of speed there. Etienne has switched out to softs. About done with our knowledge setup here. I think that's nice. Now we just need to see if they can actually fix up their speed with this, or fix up their times with the reduced arrows. Nope, Etienne still has them on the ropes. Let's finish up this right quick since it's just practice. Judovic getting a personal best. Good sign there. No more complaints with the gearing, yes. That's Ariole Net's car that I'm worried about. Yeah, I figured something was gonna happen with that. So we made the handling a little too hard, and to make it a bit soft, I suppose. Okay, downforce and speed balance are great. It's the handling that needs work. Okay, so soften up a bit. Something like that. I think this should be okay. She's only gonna get greens, though. Kind of a shame, but I understand how that's going. I don't understand how that's going for her, though. Just a minute 40 seconds remaining in practice, and Djurjevic is once again dominating the timesheets. I think she's gonna be happy with how the time looks. We'll have to worry about actual race day though, because we have to deal with both the ERS and the tire durability issue. I'm also concerned about that. So unless we can make these tires last, we won't be able to do one-stop races at all. And that is really concerning to me. Djurjevic with one more chance to do another lap. I don't think Ariolena is going to be able to get another one as she's going for the out lap. Never mind. She's got enough time for one stint. See how this goes. Oof, she went down as Gansler and Pichani just gets better times than her using their super softs. Although Pichani failing to dislodge Etienne, even with the same tire, is kind of funny. There it is, Ariolena's back with the handling. Djurjevic still on top, 1 minute 10.473, and the downforce is excellent. See how Ariolena's setup goes. Instead, nope, she's stuck in 5th. Gansler might have a chance to snatch first. Nah, he fails. Now, Carlson jumps up to 3rd. Not a good sign for number 2. Can she convert it to good laps? Indeed, that's the real question here. We also have to worry about the weather. As you can clearly see, cloudy here in Black Sea right now. Cloudy in the Black Sea circuit. Okay, we can go for soft and race trim. Then switch out the tires. Did I get? No, I didn't get green. Only got green, not purple. Fuel options. Make it 17. Yeah, 17 laps, so we can push. Switch to sauce. Ugh, that's not good. Perez can only do 13. So it's going to be conserve as much as possible, and then we'll push it too high on the engine modes. Let's hope they don't kill their engines is the real issue here. And don't go to auto on until we've passed the first lap of the race. Gonna be a bit slow, sandbagging to avoid eating up our tires. Perez will have to tip in first, because she is going to be red for the foreseeable future on their tires. We're not gonna increase the tire driving style to normal until we go a bit close to the super cold on the needle here. Now charging up. They're on their own from now. Let's see how far they're gonna go with this. Well, at least Djurjevic kept her 10th place spot, but the other guys are already pretty far away. Although they're burning their tires like it's rubber, even if they're just running on normal. Alright, Djurjevic is now in 10th. Perez is down to 15. She's not really handling her tires that well. I guess this is a good time to go for neutral. Now that we got into lap 3, Up on top, Etienne is showing his stuff, and the other newbie, Devorinari Neto, is just 0.6 of a second behind him. These new guns are definitely showing off their stuff against the seasoned ERS drivers. Where's Evans? Oh no, Evans here. Perez now still in 15th at least, but she definitely needs to work her way up if she wants to stay in the game. Chu is now ahead of our team, around 1.3 seconds ahead of Drudovic on the outlier, coming in on the home corner. Perez still trying to keep her 15th place spot, but Cardenas is just 0.3 of a second behind her. Things might change dramatically here as we continue on through the start of lap 4. Carlson has switched places with Mazzonzini, and he's now in 7th, or she is now in 7th. Chu still a couple of seconds ahead of Drudovic. Now the question is, will they pit early? It kind of looks like they will. A lot of the drivers up front are using super softs, and some of them are already past 50% just at the start of lap 5. Chu is also down to 50% and might have to pit a bit earlier than usual. Perez has gone down to 16 as Cardenas takes over her position just outside of the first corner, and not exactly a lot of fun for the Frenchman right now. She's already down to 68% on her tires. And even driving in neutral, it doesn't look like the temperature is going up that much. Drudovic is still 10th, but she is now a little under a second behind, a little under a second behind Chu as we start lap 6. There's a really good chance somebody's going to have to switch out soon. Devorinari Neto has pretty much gone down in the standings. She is now down to 3rd with Picerni snatching 2nd for her. We haven't reached the scoreboard area just yet. And things might not look too good for us right now, as we are predicted to finish in 9th with no points unless we can handle things here. What's going on over there? And there it is. Devorinari Neto has now gone for a pit stop at the end of lap 6, and she is now going to get left behind. And 19 seconds behind Etienne, a bit of a drop from her previous run. Looks like it's time for us to push a bit, as our tires are about halfway towards super cold. Etienne trying to push. Drudovic is now 8 seconds behind Etienne. Really taking advantage over their ERS here. Just need them to be a bit neutral. Drudovic climbing up to 8th, then 6th, as a couple of other drivers have gone for a pit change. Perez has also gone back up to 11th, her original starting speed, or starting position. And she is unfortunately 45% on her tires, and we're only in lap 8. We've still got 7 laps to go before we'll have to switch. So here's hoping she can actually handle that. Well, durability-wise, the tires are pretty much close to the previous road tires, but it's just that the drivers can't seem to handle them that much just yet. 22 laps to go. Perez is now down to 39. Drudovic still has 46 on her tires, but it's starting to really weigh on her. We're not exactly sure if we can actually keep them in the same lengths, because I feel like we can't. We need to work our way up there if we want to stay in the game. Because of the scoring system, we're not exactly going to be able to confidently maneuver through most of these paces. And there they go again with the complaints about the fuel levels and all that stuff. Ooh, Drudovic has climbed up to third after 3 other drivers up front have gone for a pit change, and it looks like Gardenas also has some parts issues to worry about. That's Elegard and Pichani coming for a pit climb. Yeah, signaling for a pit change here. That's not good. Perez is now down to 26. We still have 5 laps to go before we can go for a pit change. I'm not confident that we can change her here. I'm not confident that we want to put her in a change this early. Perez couldn't get past Lormore, and she is now stuck in third, even after using her ERS pretty heavily. Lormore has a good charge level on her ERS, 47, and her tires are still pretty green, all things considered. Though there's still a chance we can probably play for time. We just need to keep the engines rolling. Drudovic now halfway through the last box on the thermostat. And we still got 4 laps before we can change anything. There's Lormore on the pit change. They're seeing a bit of tire wear on their side now. Now we play for time. We'll have to hope that the fuel can stand out while their tire situation is about ready to give out. But Perez needs to catch up faster to her teammate so that we can get a decent gap once they go for a pit change next time. 18 laps to go. Start at lap 13. Drudovic is now well ahead of Perez. And Etienne snatches second using super softs. Perez is now down to 6% on her tires, but thankfully the tire wear isn't exactly that bad. She just needs to survive for another 2 laps. Neto pretty much ready to get ahead of Perez here. There we go. Perez is now down to 4th. She's going to keep dropping until we reach the main lap. 15. We're starting lap 14. Only 2 more laps to go. Perez is now out of tires. She's pretty much running on metal here. Drudovic is almost down. He is now down to 10% on her tires. Perez pretty much getting overtaken, but that's part of the game rather. I don't want her to pit just yet. We need her to survive until the last run, and then we'll pit. Or at least survive another lap, and then we'll pit her in. There's Perez dropping down to 7th now. Drudovic now at 1 and 63 laps remaining, starting at lap 6. I think it's a good time to lower up her speed while we save up on fuel. Now she's puncturing. It's the main issue here is that Perez is not smooth enough with her tires that we can make it last, which is kind of annoying. Do we risk the fast? Yeah, I'm going to risk a fast reload. Perez now dropping at 10th. Drudovic about to lose her first place spot. Where's Perez? I think we have a good time to actually pit her in. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, let's not. We'll sit back and relax for a bit. Let the other drivers handle it. And then we'll have wait. Perez. No, I have time. I think I can stack pit them. Yeah, I can stack pit them right now. Let's put Drudovic in while Perez is still rolling away. And then we can continue on. 5, 6. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. Oh, come on! What was the mistake? Freaking mistake on refueling. That's not a good sign. Alright, let's see if we can actually keep him around here. Conserve mode. Conserve the tires for a bit, but keep the fuel running and push. 14 laps to go, but our drivers are in the back, so we can't really start that count just yet. Still, driving in push mode will be enough. I think our parts are still pretty much okay, so that's a good sign. Some of the drivers up front will definitely have to switch out soon, so we'll just have to bide our time with our tires. If we can hold on for at least 2 extra laps and not get overtaken, we can survive for another day and get some good bonuses out of it. Now I need Perez to come in as soon as the other guys have started asking for a pit change so that we can get two of our drivers on the score sheet. 13 laps to go. Still pretty fresh, and I think we got enough fuel to last us the whole race. Or to last us towards the half part of the race, rather. Etienne and Elegard look like they're gonna have to pit up early soon. Lormore, Carlson, Gansler, Howe, Picheny, Concliffe, and Hornblad round up the other drivers on the top 10, with Judovic in the tail end, and still pretty fresh, all things considered. Just keeping the tires pretty decent, not pushing them too much. We'll have to rely on our own runs here. 12 laps to go. Judovic is too far out to take advantage of Etienne being in the pit lane. That's not a good sign. That's beyond going for a pit change. Perez also too far out. I don't think she's going to overtake the new driver. The guy too far out. So is Lormore. Yep, Perez. Jurovic only gone out to 7th, and we've got 11 laps to go. Let's see if she can actually last this long. Perez unable to take advantage of being in the back here, failing to overtake anybody. She's still 19th. Judovic is now 8th, 10 laps to go. 7th. She needs to get on the pit lane now. Trying to get 6th, but Elgard is really durable there. Too bad the outside corner is too open, and now Judovic is in the score sheet. Perez all the way in the back, still struggling to get back into it. Now that's Hornblad in blue. I think he's suffering from fueling issues now. Starting lap 9, Judovic failing to defend on the outside and letting Hornblad and Elgard get ahead of her. Still having trouble getting into the fight there. Judovic might need some more pushing just to get back in 4th. Perez still stuck in 18th, a bit of a problem for the Frenchry here. And that's Elegard trying to push ahead really hard. 8 laps to go. Oh, cripes. And now we have issues with Perez's gearbox having some reds here. If there's really a problem with Perez's stats, she's definitely going to go down now. Hopefully we can keep that gearbox running for a bit more. We're now running on 3rd. Oh, I'm seeing some pit change. Hornblad pushed his car a little too much, and he is now looking to switch out a bit. Judovic is off target. Etienne and Elgard a little too far out. We did have to pit a little too early, so that's a bit of an issue. Oh, thankfully the tires seem to be in a pretty decent spot right now. It's just that Perez needs to push a little further out so she can at least go into top 10. We're currently on 3rd, and that's not a good spot, all things considered. I think the chairman will not be happy with the result here, unless Perez can somehow magically get back into the fight of things. Currently, Perez is our weakest link because she is on the way out, and her smoothness is not exactly helping with the tires. So that's going to be a bit an issue. 6 laps to go. Etienne and Elgard still have the numbers up pat. Drudovic is still 2 seconds behind Elgard here. Yes, Perez still at 17th. And it looks like we're having engine problems soon. Gonna have to try and push things up out here. If things don't pan out here that much, I think we can restart and do a 2-stop race for this one, 10-20. But that seems like a bit of a risk factor right now. 5 laps to go. Drudovic is still 2 seconds behind Elgard. And we're still stuck technically at 3rd, with only 4 points to our name. Ozu pretty much having a good number out here, as both of their drivers are up front, I think. That's Etienne and no, Ozu only has Etienne up front. Elgard is in 2nd for Firebird. So unless we can overtake either of them, we will not be able to get better results for our team, or even get the sponsor objective, which is kind of a sad thing. And that didn't do much. Perez is now up to 16, getting over Mazzoncini. Glidden almost got caught, but he is now on the breakout with the ERS push. Drudovic not enough ERS energy to get in there. And trying to overtake 27 on the list of laps. We are now 4 laps down. And Perez is complaining about tire wear already. Mazzoncini has been overtaken though, and Perez is now in 15th. Beyond it, the Silva Mello switching to super softs right now. Really odd choice to pit pretty late in the game for Vexale here. Etienne trying to push further ahead using his ERS. Elgard still defending pretty well. Drudovic having a lot of trouble staying with it. And the tires are now down to 25%. We might have to restart this. We'll have to go for 2 stops by the looks of it. Dang it. Elgard is now in fuel saving mode, and looks like the other parts on Perez are also getting in the red. 2 laps to go. We're now seeing some serious issues here. Drudovic will have to back off as well because the fuel condition on her car is already pretty bad. Because of also the parts condition, the tire temperature is also going higher. If only we can get into 2nd. That's all I need right now. Perez stuck behind Funker now. I don't think she can get to her. Or to him, rather. Final lap. We might have to settle for 3rd here. Tire durability really ate us up here. Now let's see if they can actually survive this. If not, we'll definitely have to go and restart this run. Yeah, no, I'm restarting. Dang it. We can't really do a two-stop race if our drivers can't handle that 50-50 run. So we'll just have to make do with what we have and then go for 10-20 on the stops. Kind of a shame that we can't do that. We can't do the one-stop race so that we can last longer, but well, what can you do? Smoothness is a problem with both of our drivers right now, so... Well, Perez is a bit more of a serious issue with her smoothness because she is already on the peak of her stats. She might have to retire after this season. I might have to let go of her too. She has better marketability than Judovic right now. At least we're making $24,000 even if we don't make... Even if we don't make the sponsors objective right now, we still have a decent amount of money here to make, even though it's going to be slow if we don't get a good result today. It's a decent amount of arrows. Speed get harder. Switch to softs. Much arrow. I hope you're not hearing that much. They're cutting some bits of metal out there for some reason. In 10 seconds. Let's see how this goes this time. Like, if Mario Leonet was actually a bit more marketable, I would probably replace Perez with her, so we'll have a much smoother driver in the number 2 car. And then I'll find a different reserve driver for pay driver work. Like, more responsive handling, what? Still too much arrow after that? What the heck? Oh well, let's let them finish their stints. Okay, it's just Mario Leonet's car that has arrow issues. But the responsiveness in both... Judovic has less responsive handling. Mario Leonet already has some on hers, so I think that's a good sign. We can bring him in now, and we can fix them up a bit. Oh, cripes, that's a lot of work that needs to be done then. So a little less downforce. Slightly softer. Then speed. Okay, less downforce on Adiolenet's car. See if this changes anything. Jans are currently on top of the sheets with 1 minute 10.247, and he's coming out with softs for now. Looks like they're going for durability. Okay, let's see if we can get anything out of this one. One stint, and then we'll try to switch them out to super softs just to get at least one level up on the speed. If we ever decide to go for speed in the last 10 setups. Let's see here. Vidovic has gone up, right? Nope. Not fast enough. Alright, let's pin them in, bring them in, switch their tires up, see if we can get at least level 1 performance boosting for super soft, so just in case we want to go for something. Ugh, speed balance just got worse. Arrows still need a bit of balancing as well. Should probably reduce the arrows. So a bit more in acceleration rather than balance. Something like that, maybe. And switch over to super softs. Okay, Ariolena already has all greens on hers. Let's see if we can accelerate it. That general area, maybe. Keep the downforce as is and switch out to softs. Super softs, rather. Let's see if we can get anything done with this. We already got some really good results with Jodovish earlier. It's just that we couldn't get the one-stop race to stick. Bit of a risk factor that. Let's see how it goes. Okay, they got downforce is feeling a bit off now. Are you kidding me? Not too good. Again, they're still on top of the sheets, it looks like. Never mind, that's Ariolena jumping up on top now. Let's hope the weather doesn't change, just like the previous run. Yeah, now let's go for soft tires. Still. Dang it. So somewhere in the middle, maybe. Something like this. Well, they want less downforce on their side of things, so I think this would be okay. Somewhere around that general area. And then make it a slightly bit harder. Something around that general area. Go for softs. I want durable racing. Drop it to 17. It's gonna be 10 and 10. Probably go for 15 instead, so that, or 14 rather, so we can get it lighter. This one, switch to softs. Drop it to 15. Should be enough. Should be able to burn something with that. Go for high engine mode. And keep it in neutral. Alright, let's go. This time is going to be 10-11 in 2021. Hopefully we'll be able to get something out of that. Perez will have to work her way through here, because she's going to be the one having some more issues with her tires. Jodovic has gone down to 12th. Perez is now in 10th still. Driver form is awful at 0.3. Etienne having a lot of fun up there with 9.3 on her, or on his, it's his. Yep, it's having a lot of fun with his driving now. His current form is 9.3. Judovic just stuck behind Concliffe. Could get an overtaker, but Concliffe says no, going for an overtake push. Judovic gets pushed down at 13th, make that 14th. Let's wait until we go into a straightaway. There's Judovic coming up to 10th. Perez is now in 13th. Make that 9th. Judovic gets over Concliffe too. Now it's Chu ahead of Judovic here. And now Perez has to fight Da Silva Mello for 11th. Good blocking from Da Silva Mello there. Up front, Beyond and Etienne are fighting with just half a second between them. Chu doing some pretty good blocking on that home corner, keeping Judovic away from the outside overtake. Coming in close on the first corner, nothing too much there. Making a switch out on the chicanes. Perez has gone down to 13th as Lormore gets ahead of her. Tire wear, not too bad, even with just neutral driving. I think we're pretty much okay here for now. So I think we could probably conserve it a bit more so that we can make the tires last a bit. And we'll just need one tire stop. Perez has gone down to 15th as Funker and Hornblack get ahead of her. Judovic still trying to get over Chu. Up front, Bien is now down to 60% on his tires. Etienne still at 75 to 80%. Pretty good fight up front. With good defending from the young gun for Dragon Race. No, Vexala rather. Judovic still stuck at 9th, having a hard time getting ahead of Chu, who's pretty much half a second away from her at the last corner. Start left 5, still the same setup here. Although Elgard and Devorani Neto have switched positions up. Gazar is also coming up in the ranks, he's now 5th. Chani is still stuck in 17th. Never mind, she's now in 6th rather. Devorani Neto is now down to 7th, 5 seconds behind the leader. Mazzoncini and Picciani now fighting. And then there's Cardenas going over Perez. It's a little bit of a fight here. More ERS shenanigans up front as Elegard, Gensler, and Picciani try to outrun each other. Just coming out of the home corner before the start of lap 6. Perez still going down. Not exactly doing well so far, and looks like the tires might need a bit of a push-up now. Howe is now up, but unable to get past Carlson, while Perez is having trouble with Hornblad, though Hornblad is pretty much down to 25%. Getting past Funker there. No, Funker says no, and they switch positions again. Meanwhile, Judovic is still struggling, trying to get past Chu. As we start lap 7, and Chu seems to be... Oh, there was a bit of a pit change over here as Devorani Neto. What? They're still graining? Devorani Neto has has switched out for a pit change here. There's Lormore with ERS, unable to get past there. And looks like Lormore is going for a pit change as well. Chu is stuck there. Both of our drivers are going for ERS runs as everybody else seems to be in a pit change mode. Judovic has climbed up to 7th. .23 laps remaining. Can they hang on? Perez has climbed up to 9th. Judovic is now 6th, with 3 people up on the pit lane there. Mazzoncini, Chu, and Funker. Rolling a little too hard. It's kind of annoying when they make comments like that when you know that you want them to carry smaller amount of fuel just for weight reduction purposes. Up front, looks like Perez got overtaken by the Silva Mello this time. Or down the back. Up front, Beyond has gone for a pit change. Etienne has now taken over the spot. Jurovic goes up to 5th, but she needs to work her way back up so we can get some points out and stay in 3rd. Perez up on 9th now, as 3 other people are still in the pit lane. Cardenas might be switching out in a couple of laps here. We'll see if we can actually extend the length here to probably 11-12. We still have a decent amount of fuel and some tire wear to work with, so I think we can stay for longer. That's Etienne and Elegard with some parts issues to worry about up front, putting Jurovic up to 2nd. Perez might have a chance to switch up here, and she is now up to 4th. Now it's only Gansler up front, and he's probably going to have some tire issues to work with as well. Weather doesn't seem to be going against us today. Seems like it's only a bit of cloud here and there. And no sign of rain in the foreseeable future. Tire wear is getting pretty bad for Perez, unfortunately. Might have to switch out now. Switch out at the end of lap 10. Well, we can probably switch her out at the end of lap 11 instead. As Jurovic still has some pretty good spot on hers. That's Perez with the ERS trying to get past Concliffe, who is now 2nd. Okay, we're going to put Perez in now for a change. And make her 9 laps. Switch her out to fast. It's going to be a bit risky. It's better than nothing at this point. Up front, Jurovic still pretty decent with 31% and 2.5 liters of fuel on her. We'll see if we can actually keep her rolling for at least one more lap after this, and then we'll switch her out. Perez coming in for the refueling line. Jurovic going for a bit of an ERS push so she can stay away. Howe has taken 2nd from the 4 people who are currently in the pit lane. Okay, she's having some tire wear issues now. Let's go and switch her out. Make it 9 laps. Yep. Then push her in. Let's go. Perez has gone down to 14th after that stop. Not a good sign for the Frenchie. Make that 18th as everybody else has gone ahead of her. Not much of a change up front. Howe is 13 seconds behind Jurovic. Let's see if we can get out of this pit lane. No, we can't get out of the pit lane before Howe comes out. Our pit crews are pretty slow. Jurovic is now going to drop to 2nd, I believe. Wait, what? Oh, there they are. We're going to miss our sponsor objective again. But Jurovic is still within a good spot at 7th. She can probably come back to 1st if she is pretty smart about driving here. Yep, she's now up to 5th, getting ahead of Elegard and Beyond. Just have to fight against Chu Mazzoncini to get back to the top 2, or at least top 3. Looks like Chu is asking for a pit change here. Devorani, Neto, and Gansler are now fighting for 1st. Gansler is just 4/10 of a second behind. And Jurovic is now in 3rd, I think. No, she's still in 4th. Mazzoncini is still ahead of her, but she's trying to she's gonna have a hard time keeping Elegard away, and now Elegard and possibly... No, Beyond fails to overtake, but Elegard is now in 4th. after a bit of a wheel-to-wheel overtake with Jurovic on the opening corner. Meanwhile, Perez is still stuck in 16th. I don't know if she'll be able to do anything about that. Ramsey keeping her away from the front line. Decent amount of fuel left there. Ramsey has been overtaken though, and now Perez has to fight Howe. Mazzoncini in the pit lane just at the end of lap 14. Looks like Funker is also in there with some parts issues to worry about. Perez is now climbing back up. She's now 13th and still dealing with Howe up front of her. Jurovic still having trouble getting past Elegard. Gansler has now overtaken Devorani. Neto is suffering from tire degradation and might need to pit soon. Perez is still stuck in 13th. Howe is doing a decent job keeping her away. Jurovic trying to use the ERS to get past Elegard here. But Elegard has enough of an energy reserve to stay away rather. There's Perez getting ahead of Ramsey. She is now in 12th. Could be a bit of a fight as we are now in the middle of lap 16. Perez going for an ERS push, trying to get past Cardenas, but failing miserably. Now Howe is back in front of her. Only 2/10 of a second ahead, though. Not too good here. Jurovic is now just a few milliseconds away from Carlson, who's now pushed a little too far out. We've started lap 17, 14 laps to go. We might have to switch out around here just to avoid being left behind. Gansler still up front, but his tires might be going out soon. Elegard, meanwhile, really pushing it, and her tires, rather. No, his tires are now down to 29. Jurovic really struggling to get within striking distance of Elegard. She is now 2 seconds behind, and 5 seconds behind Gansler as well. Perez has finally gotten past Ramsey, is now in 11th, but Da Silva Mello is now blocking her. And that looks like Elegard coming for a pit change. No sign of any rain at the end of this run. Could be a good sign for our drivers, but they need to work their way back up. We're still stuck in 3rd here. Now we're starting lap 19. Probably 2 more laps before we switch out. Question is, do we want to switch out or not? Honestly, I feel like I can just run it through with these guys and then switch over to softs before the run is over. Now Jurovic is 3 seconds behind Gansler, who's still running heavily and might have a good chance to stay up front. Perez has climbed up to 9th, but Howe is still blocking her and keeping her away from the run-ups here. Gansler still running into the pit, or still running forward, despite the fact that his tires are starting to wear down, and we're only 11 laps from finding out who is going to win this race. Jurovic is now down on fuel and might have to pit out soon. So I'm going to pit her in now and then switch her out to a faster set of tires. Let's hope they don't suffer from any errors or parts problems now. Perez still has a decent amount of fuel and tire wear, thankfully, so no need to worry about that. Maybe we can get her up, and then we'll switch her away after Jurovic. I don't know. Nope, Jurovic is... Oh, wait, hang on. I think we can pit her in. Hold on. Yeah, let's pit Drudovic. Let's pit Perez in. Parts conditions still seem to be okay. And let's go ahead and put her in now. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. We can still have a fight here, I think. Just no mistakes. If we can maintain this without mistakes, we're pretty much set for the game. And we'll have our funding. Excellent driving from both of them there. Now, Perez has to fight her way up, unfortunately. Drudovic still has a good way to come back into the fight, by the looks of it. She just needs to get past some of these other people up front. Howe is looking for a change in pace here. Perez definitely has to fight through. 9 laps to go. There's still enough time to make the places we lost because of the pit change. And now Drudovic is back up in the top 5. Still 2 possible pit outs here with Devorani Neto and Etienne looking to change up. Perez now climbing back up. She's now 8th. The Silva Mello has officially retired due to parts issues. That's not a good start for Zambelli Engineering here. Drudovic still pushing. And now Perez has climbed up to 7th. Couple more lines and we might be able to have both of them up there, but Hal gets ahead of her. Annoyingly enough. Hal pushing his tires a little too much, I think. Sure, tires up as well then. That's Etienne coming for a pit change. Now Drudovic in 4th. Devoranani Neto might be looking to change up too. Elegard could probably stay for a bit longer, but that's going to be risky on his side. Perez unable to get past Howe, and she's stuck in 8th. Still have to work with a lot of stuff here, as Drudovic is still fighting to get into the sponsor line. Gansler has gone for fastest sector, 24.6 seconds on sector 2. Drudovic going for a push out just before the opening, or just before the last corner. Elegard has now gone for fastest lap. Devorani Neto still sticking to it as we start lap 24. Perez has now gone down to 9th. Cardenas getting ahead of her. Perez having none of that and trying to get back in. Looks like Cardenas now has some parts problems to worry about. Now Perez has gone down to 8th as Cardenas and Picerni get ahead of her. Need to work our way up as both of our... No, it's only one driver currently on this score sheet, and that's Drudovic, but Scott, we still have a chance to get both of them up there if Perez can make her way up. Nope, that's not going to be enough. Perez needs to work her way up here. Still fighting for 8th here as Bian is now close to Perez. Picerni still blocking and has a bit of an advantage because of the super softs. Perez just needs to get into 6th place. That's all she needs to be in. 5 laps to go. 55% left on Drudovic's tires. Perez goes down in 9th again as Conclave overtakes both her and Picerni. She has now gone down at 10th. Still a bit of a fight here. Perez definitely struggling to get into it. Drudovic still needing to get back into it. 5 seconds behind Gansler. Elegard might have to pit here, but I'm not too confident that he will do that. Though he's now down to 29%, there's a good chance we can still meet the sponsor objective at the very least. And I'll be happy with a second phase finish, to be honest. 4 laps to go. Elegard and Gansler. Firebird MRT still running on that hot run. Now, Ganser is only 4 seconds behind. Djordjevic needs to work her magic here. And she needs to work her magic fast if she wants to get back into things. With Eligard definitely going for a pit change, there's a chance we can meet the sponsor objective. Now we just need to be conservative about the tires. The fuel lines, we're okay with that. It's the tires that need to work with. There we go. We are now in the sponsor list, and we have 6 points to our name now. Perez really needs to work her magic here as well, because she needs to be in the score sheet if she wants to get some points for us. Too bad she is well behind the other drivers. Now only ooh, Cardenas has now retired as well. That's not good. That's both Zambelli engineering drivers out of the fight. Right? Yep. Zambelli engineering starting the season with a really rough patch over there. Both of their drivers getting knocked out because of engineering issues. Team Principal definitely having a hard day today. Parts conditions might be something, but we could probably hang on for 2 more laps. 2 laps remaining. Ganser is well ahead. Around 5 seconds ahead, in fact. Definitely going to be a bit of a tough squeeze to get back into him. Djordjevic unable to get even within seconds of the guy. Time to conserve and see if Perez can actually push this a bit more. Starting at lap 30, Perez might not be able to get into the score sheet at all. We'll have to settle for second, but I think that's going to be a really good start for our teams right now. Though Perez is still stuck in 8th. And this might not be a good sign for the Frenchie, as she is just about ready to retire by the looks of it. We're definitely going to have to release her after this season. She's still complaining about the race being a complete disaster despite the fact that she was in 8th. Not a good look for Perez there. Although Ganser will definitely be happy about that 5-second gap. Let's see if that does anything for our... How should we say this? For our durability points. Oof, Eligard with the fastest lap. But he's still at 3rd. Because we got ahead of him. Perez in 8th. That's actually a bit of a bonus for the Frenchie, who started the race at 10th. We're still in 2nd, though that's 10 points behind Firebird. Firebird might be able to dominate again because they were on top last time. Since they've been producing a lot of engines for the getting some skills from the Asia Pacific Super Cup, rather, they will definitely get some better spots up. A bit of a drop in morale for Perez there. Oh, booster marketability, dang it. And we got the money back at least, so we can say that that was a good run, all things considered. But Perez definitely needs some work up so she can at least keep the tires a bit more durable. A bit of a nail biter on that one because we did have to extend the brakes a bit and almost lost the engine on Perez's car. 41 hours at the start, huh? Okay, what do you need? Good-ish. Sorry, Perez. I know you want to get back into things, but you're starting to be a liability for the team, and I don't really like that. Okay, what do we got? 12 seconds is our fastest pit crew. Stacy Cook. Let's see what she's got. Okay, pretty decent feedback. She's got a lot of potential. She's a lot smoother than Perez too. I wonder if she'll be amicable. The problem is our marketability is not exactly up to snuff. Leo Leonette has it better too, which is kind of annoying. Okay, let's see what we got. Alright, let's go and finish up the parts first. Finish the repair, I mean. Then we can improve the engine on this one. 15 days before the race. And yes, that could work for me. That could definitely work for me. Design another engine. This time with an extra build speed, I think. 3 hours after the race. Not bad. I can work with that. I should have built that before. Oh, well, whatever. Right there. Is it okay? We got... Yeah, okay, I can go with this. And then extra improvements would include... Probably get these guys up on the improvements too. What's it gonna be on the next race anyways? Munich will require gearbox, front wings, and suspension. So we can probably focus on those for improvements first. Maybe in performance? No, not really in performance. Gearbox, front wings, and suspension. Suspension. Somebody's suspension needs to be worked on, and I think that's going to be Perez's. Improve that. Hang on. Just... Yeah, okay. Let's save this here so that we'll be ready for next time, and then... Now we got a bit of a benchmark. We just need to refine Perez's car so that she'll be a bit more durable in the next few lines. Performance work is done. Now they're going to help the reliability team so that things can work okay for the reliability of our car parts. No, I just need these parts to be a bit better. 6 days after race, parts. Maybe we can invest in a new building. Forecasting center seems interesting. So we already have a staff center. I think I need a bit more of a forecasting center so we can have better prediction for weather reports and all that stuff. And then we can probably improve the staff center afterwards, so our staff can be much more effective in the long run. Let's see. How long is it gonna take? 16 weeks? Okay, that's just 4 months. Pretty good, I think. 29 laps, so we're gonna do another one of those 2 stops for this one. What is she complaining about? We've got the best car in the race. Jesus Christ. Some of this feedback is very unhelpful. Seriously. She's probably complaining because we only have an average engine right now. She better be happy about that. Save. She complains about that. If they complain another time, I might just release them. How much her release? 813. A million. Gah. Okay, HX Telecoms will be with us for another lap. Sponsor appeal is pretty low because Jodovic is awful at marketing. I'm definitely in the market for a new driver that has better marketing. Schmidt's tool. Petri is 20%. Dang it! The only good marketing drivers are all pretty low on stats and stars. Marsh, he has 5%, an extra 5%, so that's pretty much low. Doridi is already too old. She's gonna retire soon. Laurent Hilsager, only 44. Jorma, ooh, Jorma Holonen. I'll star you up. His feedback is bad. Oh, cripes, he's already too old. Dang it! Just in case, I'll keep the star on. Spigle is only gonna keep that 100% for a couple more weeks. Pino Braga, so pretty low, 55%. Weavers, 70 something. Yeah, I think I can work. The smoothness is an issue though. Anelia Andreasen. She's great, but she wants to be a #1 driver, and that sucks. But I need somebody who is pretty good on the marketing side of things. Say in, no, he's only 0.5. Para Leonzio Faro. Oh, well, there's Rugurda here. Garcia, who's pretty smooth, and who's also a bit smart. So I think I want him next time. If we have to get rid of Perez, he seems to have a decent amount of marketability at least. I just hope nobody snatches him. Okay, our sponsors have dropped a bit in quality. Perez is at 79, Maciej is still 30%. Yeah, the chairman's gonna be angry with the financial management. Why is everybody thinking that we're gonna be the best this weekend? I don't like that. Yes, I get you, chairman. Engine design almost done. Oh, sweet! The improvability, the reliability is well in the bag. That's gonna be helpful. Can probably increase the capabilities of the test track later, so we can increase the improvement rate of the cornering and overtaking of our drivers. This improvement slap and development staff. Design center only increases parts design time, or reduces parts design time rather. Not going to be useful right now. Improving the handling development center could also be very helpful. Telemetry center for consistency and smoothness. Yeah, that could help too. Scouting facility? Do I want to boost the scouting facility right now? Staff center. And okay. we go. Let's save it again. Let's see if we can do the two-stop run again. This time a bit more brave, shall we? With Perez being a bit of a smoothness problem, we can't really risk a lot. And we need her to be on the score sheet now, because if she isn't, our chances of staying within the target standing of third and above is going to be a bit of a pain. Hang on. Sorry about that. Just had to grab something real quick. Okay, where were we? Want acceleration or speed? No, I think we need speed here and a bit of toughness. And switch to mediums. Durability is our top priority here. And the mediums can probably last for longer, so we can definitely go for one stop. Although Perez is once again going to be the weakest link in this operation. A bit of downforce. The noise is really getting in the way. I'm so sorry about that. Definitely need some new sound material for that, and probably some more. Well, you can't really muffle a lot of the noise here, which is kind of sad. The walls are kind of thin, after all. Just happy that people aren't complaining about all the noises I make. Alright, let's go and see if we can get if we got the right setup right on. This is the short course of the Munich Road. Short course Munich Road, as you can clearly see here, which means that there's going to be a lot of twists and turns compared to the longer one, which shows up later in the season. See if there's going to be a bit of a difference. Right, does Jurovic taking up some speed? Handling seems to be spot on Ariolena's car. Jurovic also happy with her handling right now. The consecutive S's on the tree line here must be doing hell on the brakes. Yeah, I think we're gonna need some acceleration boosting here. A lot of numbers there. Beyond only got second, surprisingly. Yep. Okay, no, Ariolena has the wrong arrows. Jurovic seems to be happy with hers. Lormore is now taken for... Ooh, Jurovic snatches first again on the timesheets. I don't feel like we're gonna have a good run here right now. The usual case is that when they say that one team is gonna do well in one course, it usually flips the script. Okay, a bit more acceleration focused setup. But Ariolena wants a bit more speed. quite the opposite setups for both of these drivers right now. Jan has now snatched first, but both of our drivers are still pretty much okay here, score-wise. Okay, ooh, the speed balance is only okay. So Jodovic needs it to be a bit more acceleration focused, so just a slight switch over. Probably, yeah, something around that. Handling is spot on already, though. So, bit downforce. Okay. Somewhere jump. Since they're the same, I'm switching over the softs just in case. Now, the Rio Leonet setup is okay, a bit more towards top speed. No, probably another situation where it's a bit of a separate thing. Too much arrows? Not enough arrows, maybe. Slightly. Keep the same stance and keep it in mediums. Minute 4.5 minutes remaining in practice. So we gotta get those tune-ups done right this time. Not enough time to come back here for a fix, I fear. You know, I just noticed that I don't seem to have any more of that stuttering, which I think is a good thing. I guess the OBS fixed itself in a way. Not too sure if that's the case, though. Now I jinxed it. I feel like I'm gonna have some even worse stuttering in the next few days. There we go. Oh, that's just knowledge for the race. Trim. 2 minutes 40 seconds remaining in practice. Not enough time to get the both of them in the same tire. Should be enough to at least get soft tires up. So I can probably send Jurovic in for another pit lane. Yep, just have to finish that. And then I'll switch her tires out. Just so we can get some extra focus on the lines up here for the soft tires. Oh, she's all green. I'm happy with that. Oh. Oh, I mixed them up. Crap. No, not enough time. Not enough time. Dang it, I mixed up my drivers. I'm not gonna get any performance boosting for the mediums anymore. Or the softs, rather. I had a feeling that was the case. See, this is one of my issues with the practice prompts from this game. You set their feedback says they want more top speed, so you adjust them for top speed. But when they start rolling again, they say that the speed balance has gotten worse. So what is it then? Where is the point where the prompts from these the feedback prompts from the practice mode actually aligns with what they need? Because if it keeps flipping around like this, it's going to be annoying in the long run. Lots of industries for both of the drivers there. Cloudy. That's good. No, that's not good. I feel like it's gonna rain. I'll have to adjust Rio Lanet's or Perez's car. Didn't get any performance boosts for soft, so that's not a good sign. See, you annoying pricks. Then switch it to medium. Ooh! She can go for 15! That's a good sign. Wait. How about the fuel? Fuel option says 24. So, how about we go for 17 again? Switch into mediums. Fuel is 17. Enough fuel for pushing, well, not enough to worry about for the tires. So we go for high, and keep the tires in neutral for now. We're gonna try and keep them driving for as long as possible. You saw that note, I don't like that. I feel like it's gonna rain sometime within the middle of the pack. Now that's Strudovic second on the second in driver standings, 19th in the starting grid. Oof, that's Perez making a beeline in the inside and now jumping up to 15th. Strudovic trying to do the same on the outside, but failing, and now she's down in 20th. Perez also going down as Pichani gets ahead of her. Bian and Da Silva Mello are now on top, fighting for each other with just a second between them. Perez trying for the inside overtake, but failing to stay with it. And now she's fighting with her teammate for 19th and 18th, respectively. That's Pichani in the back there, getting ready to push out. Start of lap 2. Now everybody's on the push. Not much to use there for both of them, and now they're stuck in the back. Surprisingly, Carlson and Ganser seem to be a bit more conservative with their tires right now. That's Perez coming up to 18th, with, overtaking both her teammate and Ganser there. But Carlson, for some reason, is very conservative with her tires. Is she eating her tires a little too much? Ganser really setting the pace for both of her drivers as he is now fighting with Strudovic. Oh, Perez just jumped up to 16th. Now Strudovic is behind Ganser. Pichani keeping Perez from climbing up to 15th. Starting lap 3 with a bit of action here in the back. Not much up front though, as Bian and Da Silva Mello are still fighting. And Bian is pushing a little too much. 5 seconds ahead of Da Silva Mello now. We'll have to see if things will change around the middle of the first half. Hang on. Strudovic still stuck in 19th, fighting with Carlson, who has now gone into regular drive mode. And now Ganser has been thrown down to 19th, as Strudovic is now pushing ahead. Perez getting a little too straight happy on that one just before the home hairpin. And now she's up to 16th again after fighting with Concliffe. Pichani still blocking her though. Oh crap, are you kidding me? Seriously, Perez? Seriously? Dude! What is wrong with you? Well, we'll have to rely on Strudovic for this one. Let's see if she can survive. No need to worry about Perez's fuel lines anymore, so I think we'll have to fight for first or nothing. If we can't do that, we'll have to restart this stage. Really bad run for Perez there. Even though we were doing so well with the tire condition and all that, she is definitely checked out by now. Definitely have to release her after the season is over. Now we have to fight our way up top so we can at least get some scores in. Only have to go for first. With Firebird pretty much up ahead of us, it's going to be a really tough uphill battle here. I guess Late Breaker did do a number on Perez this time. Now Ganser has come up on top again, snatching 17th. Well, he's up to 16th now with the ERS on. Judovic getting overtaken by Concliffe, who's used the ERS push to get ahead. Now it's only Carlson behind her as we start lap 6. Really annoyed by that late braking problem there with Perez. Cripes, tire wear. Or tire temperature, rather. To push the tires a bit more now. The question is, can we keep the tires at least until lap 15 with this rate? Judovic still stuck in 18th. Now Ganser has climbed up to 15th, and he is having a comfortable time. While Perez is still struggling to get into it. I knew that news report about us performing well today was going to be a jinx. It's happened 9 out of 10 times, not just to us, but to the other teams in the series as well. Concliffe is still defending her position from Judovic, though Judovic is only 0.2 of a second behind. Oh, cripes! And now we got a safety car leaving the pit lane. Yep, we're going for it. Why did he leave from a team stop? Yes, I'm going for a pit change. I'd like to have that, thank you. Switch tires. Extra fuel would be nice. How are we on fuel anyways? Fuel at pit stop will be 9:44, and that's going to be at the end of lap 7. So that's 8, 9:44, 8, 9, 10, 10, 15, 12. It's 8 laps. I think we can pit for one more one more tank of fuel. So we'll have 10:44. That's going to be enough to get us at least up to lap 15, maybe. Then we'll switch out from there. I think I can risk a fast lap here. No need to worry about parts for now. How is part of which team? Archer BMR. Why does this require a garage while Perez didn't? Now Judovic has gone ahead of Concliffe, apparently. We're going for a pit change. It looked like somebody already did. Bian has also switched out. The Silva Mello, though, seems to be going ahead. Oh no, he also pitched out. That's a lot of people pitting up front, but that's going to be fine. 22 laps to go. They really need to work on this because it keeps getting annoying when they're complaining about tire wear and tire temperatures even after going through a safety lap. Speaking of safety lap, we're now down to 15th as we had to go for a pit change. It looks like everybody else has also gone for endurance. Now here's hoping we don't degrade the tires too much. We still got one lap, make that 2 laps technically, because there's the safety lap and then the out lap for the safety car afterwards, which is going to keep the cars a bit colder, and we're going to hear another set of complaints from Judovic about how the tires are degrading badly because of the tire temperature. Time busy. annoyed about this, Perez. You disappoint me, dude. And there we go again. It's gonna drop now. And once the safety car crosses that, it's gonna say heading to garage, yes. Start at lap 9, everything is a bit slow still. Now, Drodovic is gonna start complaining about the tire degradation again, as she is wont to do, even in a safety situation like this. That's 3 guys in softs though. Etienne, Bian, and Da Silva Mello. Although, thanks to the movement, we now have 69% on our extra energy recovery system, which should be helpful later on when we start pushing up again. Just keep an eye out on the car, a safety car instead of everybody else. Yeah, the safety car is now pushing up in speed. The moment he gets out of the forest road, he'll be coming away, or he'll be heading away, and leaving everybody else as he returns to the pit lane. Coming off of that hairpin, and now he's pushing forward with a little more speed on the road now. The moment he enters the garage, we're going to push things up a bit. Push and high. And there's Jurvish also using her ERS to get some advantage, but pretty much wasting it as she fails to get up ahead of everybody. She is now stuck in 14th behind Chu. Bit of an overtake on Chu in the inside there. What the heck was that noise? And now Judovic is gonna have to fight her way up there, helping with the tires as well. I wonder if we can switch to softs afterwards, just so we can maintain, get some speed up. Maybe not. Judovic is now 13th, Cardenas is now ahead of her. Devorani Neto is now in 11th. Up on the front, Da Silva Mello and Elegard are just 0.3 of a second between them. Yeah. Oh, now he's now going up to 0.7 of a second between them. And now Jurdovic is trying to go for an inside overtake and succeeding, but failing to complete it, and Etienne is still ahead of her. But now that's Cardenas ahead of her this time. Jurdovic now trying to keep both Cardenas and Devorani Neto away from her. And she is now on her way back up to the upper half of the rolling standings here. Question is, can we make it back to the sponsor objective up front with the way things are driving? Really tough question on that one. Now here comes Judovic coming into 10th, getting ahead of Mazzoncini. Now Etienne is ahead of her. I wonder if I can go for, no, I don't think I'm going to go for lap 10, or rather lap 20. We're going to stick to 15. So we're going to switch out the tires again around the 11th lap. So I think we can attack with these ones. Our parts are still okay, thankfully. Now, Judovic has gone up to 10th, but Etienne is climbing up the ranks thanks to her ERS. She is now 7th, overtaking Concliffe and Ole Carlson. Now, Da Silva Mello is now 0.6 of a second away ahead of Elegard. Judovic now going for the inside overtake and snatching 9th from Ole Carlson and snatching 8th from Concliffe there. Using the ERS now to go ahead of Etienne and Hornblad. And now she's up at 6th as we start lap 13. 17 laps to go. Still enough fuel for a lot of things here. Should be enough running to stay in the fight. Uh-oh. That's not good. We got a weather condition now. Looks like we're gonna have to wait until the actual lap 15. We'll push it a bit. And since the temperature is gonna be a bit colder now, we're gonna have to wait until lap 15 and then we'll switch over to inters maybe. Otherwise, it's gonna be annoying. Judovic is now 6th. We're not seeing anybody switching out just yet. Looks like they know they can still drive for at least a couple more runs. Start lap 14, and Judovic is still up rolling, but the roads are now starting to get real damp. Temperature is a bit on the cold side still. Tire wear is now at 62%. Fuel is now 5 laps of fuel remaining. I think we have enough time to get into lap 15 and then switch over to inters, or probably wets. No, I think we're going for inters with this one. Oh, hang on a second. I think we might just have to stick to... No, ignore that. Ignore that. But everybody else up front. No, Judovic is having trouble fighting with Ganser up here. Ganser might have to switch out soon. And now Ganser go for the ERS. He's not switching out this run. And Judovic is now up to 5th. As we start lap 15. 15 laps to go. The water is starting to look like a real piece of work here. Although we could probably switch out to standard mediums for the time being, unless the weather situation improves that is, which could be a sign of big problems later. Sorry about that banging. Judovic still fighting with Ganser for 4th, getting a bit of a win there. Ganser still pushing, I think. Yep, he's still pushing as we start lap 16. The tires are still pretty okay. Fuel is still enough. I think if it doesn't change, if we don't see any change around lap 22, I'm gonna stick to mediums for this one. And then we're gonna be driving. We're just gonna be driving out and switching to softs, and then we're going to switch out. Softs and fuel. That's all there is to it. After this lap, that is. Silva Mello and Elgard still up front. Cherny now looking for a change. We'll have to see how things are gonna happen here. Elgard on fuel saving for the time being. Now how about the Silva Mello? The Silva Mello already looking to change up. I think we still have 1 lap to go, fuel-wise. We can probably do that right now, and then we'll just have to make do and stick to the high-performance parts after that. Hang on, 216... Yeah, no, I think we're gonna be okay with this one. 16 laps. Switch over to... No, we're sticking to mediums because we're going for durability, so... 5, 10, 15... Yeah, 15 laps should be okay. You can go for 15 laps. Pit strategy, go for fast. Go for another extra, just in case. I did ask for a tire change, didn't I? Judovic and Ganser are now head-to-head, but Ganser has tire issues, so we can probably get some gaps on him. That's going to keep us in 2nd if we can maintain this position. Now, both of them are going for a pit change. Everybody else have gone for inters. I think we're gonna be okay so long as we can keep the tires rolling. I don't think I want to switch out, really. Now we probably rest this neutral down so that we don't push our tires a little too far. So the 16-second gap, the 16-second projected pit time gap is going to be a real problem. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Dang it! Judovic didn't get out fast enough, and now Gandler is ahead of her again. Looks like we'll have to make do. What we have here. Judovic has gone down to 16th. Question is, can she fight back with just the slicks? We'll see. We're risking the drive here by sticking to slicks instead of going for inters first. Start 11 laps ago. Judovic is now just ahead of Etienne, who is now overtaking her. Oh, okay. It doesn't look like it. Gonna have to go for a restart then. Looks like we definitely need that weather forecasting center out soon so we can predict how things are gonna go. We should have switched to inters then. Oh well. We only expected a short run today after all. So I'm probably gonna call it in after the Munich run. But still, I think we have a good build-up here going. We just need to know when we're going to switch out to all-weather tires. After that, if we can get Perez up on the score sheet and not get her to crash this time, that will be a major improvement in performance, I think. But let's go and practice that some more. Got 16 and 18. We're gonna go for mediums first, as is the usual. That should be acceleration. Soft side there. Switch it to medium. Slight boost to acceleration and steer. And switch to mediums as well. Since Rio Leonette has better feedback, I think I'm gonna give her the soft tires next time. Too bad we can't take advantage of we can't get any weather practice in, so we're not gonna be able to get any boost up for softs, or rather for the inters. Unless things change here, which is still very likely. Let's just speed things up here so we can get the setup knowledge faster. Okay, gear ratio seems to be decent. What the heck is going on over there? Gansler on top. Looks like Jodovic is going to score the top of the timesheets for the time being. Though Howe seems to be looking okay as well. Gansler goes up there. Downforce feels bang on. Okay, Ariolenet needs more downforce apparently. Jodovic goes up to... okay, there's Gansler again. Too much roll? Okay, that means she wants the handling to be softer. That's usually the case with those complaints. No change in the weather. Looks like we'll have to get something out of the softs anyways. Judovic has only greens. Just in case. Suspension of softer. Same stints. Keep a medium. Ariel net is going to go. Ooh! Seriously, the handling is still not soft enough? Okay, probably. A bit of hardness might go a long way there. Oh no, it's because of the arrows. There's not enough downforce. Okay, that should be enough. Now we'll switch her over to soft tires. Maybe she'll have better feedback by then. Let's see how this one goes. This time it has to be pitch perfect, right? Probably gonna get level 3 on the mediums after this. Tweaks to downforce are great. That's good, that's good. Judovic might not be part of top 5 for this one. Not enough time to switch her out to softs though. Yelena jumps up to 7th. Arrow setup is fantastic, huh? I think sticking to somewhere around the upper parts of the mid-pack would be better for our actual race day performance. Never mind. Well, Arielena did drop to 8th, so I think that's going to be a good counterbalance for actual race day. Just have to see. Okay, she still needs stability on the corners. Still in the running despite that. We'll have to worry about the weather midway through the race, and then we'll stick to inters after that. Medium and race trim. Medium and race trim. Should be enough for that. Tire choice, sticking to mediums again. For 17 on the fuel. Medium. 17 on the fuel. Too much. We're going for 15-15 as is the usual. Engine mode high. Driving style neutral. That should be enough for now. Why is Judovic the only one on mediums in the back? That's kind of funny. Ooh, that's a quick jump up. Judovic now up to 17th, but I don't think she's going to stay there, as she's now up to 15th. Taking advantage of the traffic in the middle of the road there. Judovic is now 14th, getting ahead of the Burani Netto. Now she is stuck in traffic, and she will have to give leeway to the guys in the back. Looks like the Burani Netto and Carlson get their revenge on Judovic here. Perez goes down to 18th, and now both drivers from Watson Industries are fighting with each other for the 18th spot. Ooh, Gansler gets in between them, and now they're back in the rear. Tire decently wearing down at a good pace. We'll see how they're going to use their ERS out here. Wait a bit. and we'll push them out. Now, they're gonna decide on the ERS on their own. Drodovic and Perez now trying to get up from the lower ends there. Gansler keeping Perez away from her teammate. Good inside overtake for both of them, keeping Gansler away. Now, Howe has jumped up to 19th. Now, bits of the traffic here in the back is loosening up. We're starting to see a fight already. Up front, Bian and the Silva Mello once again fighting against each other. 0.2 of a second between them. Running up the top 5 are Ramsey, Cardenas, and Lormore, with just a second between between each of them. It's Etienne getting ahead of Concliffe for 13th. Glidden going down to 8th. Lormore climbing up to 4th this time. Drodovic still struggling to get out of 16th. Getting a bit rough patch there. Perez could have a chance to break away here if Gansler makes a mistake on the chicane or the home corner. It's not looking too good for the Frenchman. 26 laps to go, starting lap 8. Still the same setup for both of our drivers, and now Howe is all the way in the back. Drodovic about to be overtaken by Gansler on the outside, but she manages to defend her position just at the last second. Now we're entering tree line territory. Perez has gone up to 17th, getting ahead of Gansler again. But I don't think she can stick to it as we enter the tree line S's. Drodovic with a brave attempt at an outside overtake against Carlson, but failing miserably towards the end of the S curves there. Now trying to get ahead with another outside overtake using speed, but not enough time to accelerate, and now she's stuck in 16th again as we start lap 5. Weather's still pretty much dry, so that's something to look into. Might have to push the temperature a bit as the needle is now halfway towards super cold. So we'll have to push the temperature a bit back up to at least halfway. Now it's Perez and Drodovic exchanging positions as Perez goes up to 16th. Concliffe and Carlson also fighting up and switching around, exchanging punches, so to speak. The Silva Mello now 1 second behind Bian up front. And there's Gansler with the ERS overtake, but he got boxed in. Although he did manage to take advantage of the gap there in the home corner. And now Gansler is climbing up the ranks, and he is at 16th. We're starting to see a bit of tire wear up front now. The mid-pack is already nearly halfway on average. Chanley is still pretty good with her tires, though. So are Concliffe and Carlson. Gansler also wisely keeping his tires under check. A little over 60% still. There they go again. That's Drodovic taking over Gansler's spot again, snatching 16th. But now she needs to work her way through against Concliffe and Carlson up front if she wants to stay in the running. 23 laps to go. Bian and De Silva Mello still up front. Not much of a change there. And there's Carlson going for an ERS push. Couldn't get it to go. Stuck behind Concliffe. Bit of traffic there. She got boxed in before she can take advantage of the inside overtake. Now that's Perez fighting against Gansler again, while Howe is trying to join the fight. Going for an ERS push here. Drodovic couldn't get past either Concliffe or Carlson, even with the ERS push though. Getting boxed in now. And there's Perez going for an outside overtake and snatching 16 from Concliffe this time. We start lap lap 8. 22 more laps to go. That's Perez and Jurovic trying to one-up each other, while Carlson is adamant to keep them both away from her position. Up front, Ellergaard has now gone up to 4th, Etienne to 7th, and Picciani at 10th. Bit of a race up here. Oof, that's Gandler trying to to keep Gunncliffe away from her. Tire temperature seems to be okay, so let's neutral up these 2 points. 21 laps to go. No need to worry about crashes, but we're seeing some pit changes, and now Perez and Jurovic have gone up to 10 and 11th, respectively. There it is. Still the same weather patterns. It's going to be rainy until the 15th lap. We might have to switch up around, we could probably switch up around lap 15, 16, as is the usual. We'll just have to make sure that the tires actually stay around there. This time, Perez has managed to stay away from any crashes and is doing fairly well so far. Currently at 10th. Not enough to get into the score sheet. She really needs to work her way up here. Gansler looking to snatch 12th from Jurovic. And unlike Jurovic with the outside corners, Gansler is very successful and is now pushing farther and farther ahead. But Jurovic is using her ERS to take advantage of Gansler trying to keep the fuel intact, and now Gansler is out of the position again. Perez and Jurovic now in 9th and 10th respectively. Carlson still ahead. More has now taken the lead. Ellergaard is up to 2nd, just 0.4 of a second between the 1st and 2nd lead drivers. And there's Perez complaining about being stuck behind Carlson for a while. Managing to snatch 8th now after that consecutive S-turn. Now we're starting lap 11th, and the tire situation is starting to really reel things in. Have to switch out. Oh, Cardenas has switched out for Inters pretty early here, though. So did Glidden. A bit risky there, especially since it's still fairly dry for at least 2 more laps. So going for an early Inter switch out seems like a crazy idea, especially when it's expected to be wet until the end of the race. I think we can put Perez in now, or maybe just put her in another run or so, and switch her out to Inters after that. Jurovic has gone down to 7th. Oh, there's Perez coming in for the wetlands. Now let's go and switch her out to Inters now. No, 16. No, let's let her run for another lap, and then when things start getting really wet, that's when we switch her out. Tire temperatures are still fairly decent, so I think we're good. Jurovic now up to 5th, and she's also starting to struggle with tire wear. Gansler might be switching out soon, as he is now down to 17% on his tires. That's a good sign, I think. We just need to climb up further, and then Perez can probably switch out after this. I'll switch her up to Inters. 16. Good strategy, go for fast. Gonna be a bit risky. It's better than nothing at this point. 17 laps to go. A little too early for a pit here with Jurovic. So we'll probably have to leave her up until lap 15. Also might have to push the tires a bit more just so we can avoid tire wear at the wrong time. Ooh, here we go with the rain. Judovic will have to wait out one more lap after this so she can let Perez get some extra breathing room. Picciani's still on top. I don't know if she's gonna switch out. I don't think she is. Now the tires are down at 16%. Judovic has to survive this lap if she wants to go and stay in the run-in. Options 510. Keep it at 16. I think we'll be okay. Judovic is now 2.4 seconds behind Picciani. Unfortunately, I don't think Perez is going to be exiting really fast for this one. Yep, she's going down. She's gone down to 12th. Might be going on 13th at this point. Nope, she went down pretty decently. Now, Judovic needs to get into the pit lane soon just to prevent everybody else from closing in. Now we can probably let our neutral the tires up. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Ugh, that's a little too long. But better than nothing at this point. Judovic is now down to 12th. Perez is now up to 10th. Still a good spot to fight here, and I think we have enough durability for the tires to stay until the end of the race. No need to switch out because I think even with the dip around lap 22, it's going to be wet up again. And now Perez is behind Mazzoncini, Judovic behind Carlson. Perez has now overtaken Mazzoncini and now fighting with Ramsey, who's using his ERS to get away from the other guys in inters before the rain gets more and more heavy. That's Judovic up to 11th again. Carlson still ahead of her. Perez slowly snatching 7th from Ramsey this time. And now we definitely have to work our way up so we can get some more points out here. We've almost got an overtake on the outside corner, but there was a bit of extra traffic in the way. Now Judovic has climbed up to 9th. Perez struggling to get into the score sheet here as she is blocked by traffic between Chu and De Silva Mello. Picciani taking advantage of the chaos and has now gone up to 4th. Ellegard is now in 3rd. Oof, that's Carlson jumping up with the ERS, going up to 5th. Now that's Perez in 5th, Judovic in 6th, and now we're on the score sheet. Let's see if we can outlast these other guys and stay up on the 2nd and probably grab the sponsorship objective on top of it too. Carlson still keeping Perez away from the top 4. While Picciani, Ellegard, and Bianen are fighting for 1st. Bian is still 8 seconds ahead, but starting to collapse as her slick tires are starting to become a bit of a liability issue in the wet road. Perez and Judovic still fighting with Carlson. There's Bian coming into the pit lane, switching out to inters now at the start of lap 18. Both of our drivers now up 1 each, 4th and 5th respectively. Or rather in reverse, Perez at 4th, Judovic at 5th. Now it's only Carlson and Picciani keeping them from our sponsor objective. Picciani and Carlson pushing the engines a little too much while keeping the tires in good working order, it looks like. Oh, what the heck? Cadenas out of nowhere! Snatching 5th. Going for a little bit of an overpush here. And then there's Etienne still looking into things as well. 8%. That's Judovic climbing out of nowhere and snatching third. And she is now 3 seconds behind Picciani. Perez still in 5th. And now sandwiched between Carlson and Cardenas. I wonder if she can break out of that. Elegard and Picciani still fighting with each other, but Picciani is now 3 seconds behind. Elegard is also having some issues with what appears to be parts problems, so that's going to be concerning for the Firebird driver. Judovic is now staying as far away from Carlson as possible, trying to get ahead of her Swedish compatriot, but the consecutive S's here in the forest zone are making it very difficult to get some space between her and her fellow Swede. Now we're starting lap 10. Things still seem to be going okay, but we definitely need to get somewhere up to Picciani's location so we can get some more power, or at least get to the sponsor objective. And now that's Perez using her ERS to get ahead of her teammate, and now she's snatched third. Might need to conserve the tires a bit here. Then we'll push them back up again towards the end of the circuit. Gonna miss the sponsor objective, I feel. But if we can keep this, I think Perez will be in a really good spot to get some more marketing points up. And that's gonna make the chairman very, very happy. Uh-oh, that's Carlson with the ERS overtake, putting Judovic back down to 5th. But good blocking from Perez on the exit of that corner, and that keeps Carlson in 4th. Manageable position here against the Swede from Vexala. But Judovic needs to work her way out here if she wants to get back into 4th again. Tire temps have now gone a little too low. Perez will have to push that a bit further up now. Should probably also... Okay, push it a bit for Judovic as well, who's now going with an ERS overtake. Now it's back to 3rd and 4th for both of our drivers. 8 laps to go. I don't think they have enough for tire durability here, Perez at least. We need to get that at least up to the box, and then we'll switch down to yellow. Cardenas having some trouble here with the early pit. She is now stuck down in 17th. Not only does she have to worry about her tires, she also had to worry about some of her parts that are getting a bit buggy. There's Carlson with another push here. Oh, we put it in the neutral now. Tire temperatures are going to be decent. Durability is the more serious concern for now. Judovic has to defend against Carlson. Still a bit of a weather pattern towards the end there. Now, if we can only overtake Picciani, that would be really, really great. Gonna keep an eye out on tire temperatures there. Glidden with a pit change very late in the game. Not a good sign for the young Brit driver, who is now down to 17th after that pit change. Perez is 3 seconds behind Picciani, and I doubt she's going to be able to get close, even with the ERS on. Unless both of the drivers up front make a mistake, which I highly doubt would happen. Picciani trying to keep her tires steady. Ellen Gard going for a push-up, as you can clearly see here. Yep, we're probably going to miss the objectives. I wanted the extra million so I can make back some of the money we used on the engines, but Well, better than nothing, I suppose. Oh, I don't like the looks of that. Elgard is having some parts issues. He might have to retire here. He's still trying to roll, but his parts are really in the way now. And now it's only Picciani who's 4 seconds ahead. Elgard might have some time to get back into the pit lane. But that is a question of preference at this point. 5 laps to go. Can we keep our tires up? Carlson is 3 seconds behind Jurovic, but he is still a bit of a threat. Now, the only question is, can we keep our tires up and durable until the last 5 laps of the race? Perez is now down to 25%. Jurovic is down to 35%. And now we're probably going to start seeing some issues with speed as the durability on the tires become a problem. 4 laps to go. Tire temperature might be pushing it a bit too much. Just need it to be up on the box. We might not be able to get past Picciani at this point, but it's better than nothing. I just need these guys to be rolling on a decent amount. So wet that it's not going to be possible to overtake, I think, but we just need to keep the rolls. We just need to keep the cars rolling until the end, so we gotta nurse these guys. Tire temperature. Jurovic can probably keep the tire temperature on her own. It's Perez that has the issue. Perez now down to 9%. Jurovic down to 20. 2 laps to go. Come on, just stay where you are. I don't need to pit. Like, why did they pit exactly? It's like 2 laps remaining and they chose to pit for tires in this wet situation. I don't get the motivation behind that. Come on, last lap. Last lap. We gotta get there. We gotta survive this. We gotta get these guys home. Perez with a win would be nice. Although I think it's Jurovic is gonna win this. Come on, Perez. Ooh, P2! That was a risk. We really took a big risk here by just sticking to one stop, but it was worth it in the end, and it's a 1-2 finish for our drivers here in Munich today. Really, really threading the needle here. Threading the needle is an understatement. That was a little too close. Picciani almost got us there. But I think that's a good turnaround from Perez suffering from the early crash in the earlier save. I still have no idea how that happened. It could be because her late braking ability had a bit of a bad RNG. And we did put her a bit too early. She almost got it, but if she did not pit early, she might have actually snatched a win here. Probably one of her last wins for her career, but still, better than nothing. And we didn't break any rules too, which is kind of fun. Although Bian Shuli is still on top with the fastest lap bonus. Oof, Ramsey still scoreless this season. Bunker, Warncliffe, Da Silva Melo, Hornblad, Gansler. Kind of rare seeing them scoreless, even here in the early part of the ERS. You usually see them with more points by now. But the start of everything has been kind of weird. So 1-2. Excellent work there for both of our drivers. Chairman is definitely going to be happy with that. So is the marketing team. The midfield is indeed where the fun part of racing in the ERS is. A lot of crazier stuff happening in the midfield than anything up front or in the rear. Incident packed as an understatement. 8 seconds behind. Ugh. Definitely going to be happy with that. And that's also going to be going to be a boost to both our marketing and our morale points. Chairman is very, very happy right now. Let's see if the marketability gets anything out of that. Come on! What do you mean it's not showing? It's not showing up. Go. She's maximum consistency right now. That's actually pretty nice. Very consistent driving from Jurovic right now. If only she could get a marketing boost. And we got our sponsor objective as well. Oh, HQ income is pretty good, 1 million. Sponsor, 1.9 million. Financial skills. Yeah, 18,000 in the bag. Ooh, we're in a Buenos Aires after they got pushed up in, oh, they got pushed down in the Asia Pacific Super Cup. Still on top though. 10, and then there's Eastwood. Very happy about this one too, really. And now in the points, Jurovic is now ahead of Gansler, 6 points. Perez is finishing up the top 3 with 6 points on her end. Now we're above Firebird MRT, 6 points behind us as well. I'm just going to clean things up here, and then we'll call it in for the night. Bit of a rough patch with just 2 stops finished, but it's better than nothing. I think I lost one sponsor, yes. Then Roostjet will leave after the next one. 35 hours, that's good. My team's to race. Sorry. Okay, 60, that's 3 seconds slower than our season records, but we didn't have mistakes, which is pretty good. Now we finished the other engine as well. Hot up on scouting. Ooh, there's a lot of newer, better people on the scouting list now. We're starting to see some pretty good changes in the pit stops. Thanks to the boost on concentration with Jessica Legg, I think we're going to be having some more fun in the pit lane sooner or later. Just get this car repair done. How long are they going to be staying with us? Legg still has 2 months. Takanabe has only 9. I think I want him still. He's got pretty good parts fixes. Wait, no. He's not good in parts fixes. Well, he has the better parts fixes, but he's not the chief mechanic for repairs, so we can't really do much. He's got good reliability, though, which is why I need him on the right. Not much for performance on either of them, unfortunately. Okay, let's do some parts improvements. 17 days before the race, that's good enough. Let's focus on getting this done first, and then we'll switch things up. And one more engine, maybe. And after that engine, we're going to switch to making illegal parts. And then if we ever get to the top, I'm choosing not to get promoted for one more season, so we can focus on getting more production done. And by production, I mean the buildings. Going for top speed and reliability boost. Build time 2 days. Weight stripping, I think. Is it the same? Is it the same engine? 715 it says. Yeah, we're going for this one then. Top speed. Top speed plus 2 days and weight stripping performance gain plus top speed. Wait, I don't even have weight stripping on. What's the use of this thing then? Yeah, let's go with this one instead. Even though it's going to reduce the number of top speed by 20, its top speed, it still gets a plus 40. So we get 745, which I think is much better than the other one. After that, we're going to make illegal parts. Maybe not this one. It's just a reliability boost. That's not going to be useful. Okay, that should be enough. Can make the most out of that. Then I'm still waiting for another sponsor to come in. Let's see if we can get something out of that first. Wait, hang on. Scouting? Any new people to show up here? Nope, nobody. No sponsors yet? Oh, there's one. 2 sponsors. Probably 3. Okay, that's done. The reliability on that one. Base. Wait. Okay, no. Let's finish this up and then they can probably finish up on getting that thing done over on the right. Everything still seems to be okay on the stock parts. Now, what do we have on offer? Brutus Tires have an upfront of 500, fixed payment of 100,000 for 6 races. Maxwell's has no upfront and only 150,000 for 6 races. Well, they have more. They have more for fixed races, but they don't have an upfront. And then there's Chic Airways that has 450 upfront, 885,000 for 4 races. Of course, we're going for the Brutus Tires here. Silverdo. FWK is going to leave in 4. It's Roosjet that's going to disappear after this next race in Dubai, which is going to be a bit of a crying shame for us. Condor Telecom. Transantarctic Outdoor. 2 Americans there. Italian. And then there's Jet. Right. Okay, I think that's going to be it for now. We're still overall top in parts and all that. Just need to see if the improvement is going to be okay. How long until the next part comes in? 11 days. 3 days before the Dubai GP. Well, that's enough for the enough racing for the day. Thank you so much for dropping by. It was a bit of a nail biter, to be honest. The surprise jump with the crash and all that kind of scared me. Hopefully, we won't have any more jumps like that as we progress further through the 2028 season and things get a bit more relaxing to watch through. As things stand, though, I feel like it could be a bit cleaner once we finish the Dubai leg, as we get better parts, and then we can focus on expanding our HQ. Then once we finish the season, we're probably gonna reject getting promoted as much as possible, and then we're going to stay in for another run, using gathering extra money to build up on the capabilities of our HQ, and then we'll fight for promotion after that. For the time being, though, if you got any complaints or violent reactions about the stream tonight, I would really be grateful if you can drop me a line on my Twitter or my Pixib. If you got a hankering for older streams that have already expired here on Twitch, or you just want to complain about PNG streamers in general, you can always check the VOD archive. Links in the About tab of my profile page, and also searchable on YouTube under the same username. That's Lurk at Work. work with U instead of an O. By the way, if you're currently checking the VOD, thanks for dropping by. Sorry that it was kind of just a two-leg race right now. We did have a couple of restarts because of some bad decisions we made. At the very least, we're getting the money flow in, so I think that is a bit more important, especially for a team that's trying to prep up for competition in the Asia Pacific Super Cup after a season or two. Maybe next time you're still in the mood to catch the stream live, I hope I can talk to you by then. But if you're still just sticking up to the VODs, there's a couple more VODs in the channel that might pique your interest, so I hope you can check them out too, and probably leave a comment if you can. Speaking of the channel, if you got a friend who might be interested in the stuff I stream, or who just wants to complain about PNG streamers in general, I would really be grateful if you can share my channel with them. Twitch.tv/work@work. That's all from me for now. Tomorrow is still up in the air. I could probably return to Battle Realms and continue our run with the Serpent Clan Kenji, the Edgelord in red. Now that we've finished up, or we're finishing up the fight with the Lotus on the eastern provinces, so that's going to be a good sign. Or we can go to some other titles that we haven't touched in a couple of weeks or so. Just keep an ear out on socials for that. As for me, though, work is RTB. If you're still in the mood for a stream, I can send you over to somebody who's doing a run of Total War 3 Kingdoms right now. Might be a bit more interested in somebody who's a bit more skilled in management than I am. If you're heading out for the night, I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Good night for those who are heading out, and stand by for those who are about to be sent over.